Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Tuesday, whatever we are around the world. Hopefully, everyone is having an amazing day. Of course, welcome back to the Cup Council. Again, we're going to be talking about the DM market tonight. Going to be talking about a few different players, get your guys' thoughts, get my thoughts. Again, we'll get through a little bit of news as well. And all that good stuff as well. But let me know how all of you are in the chat as well. If you're new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all of that good stuff anyway. But I did want to start off the show, of course, speaking about what happened yesterday in Southport. Again, horrific news and horrific scenes. Again, obviously, the news that has come out over the last 24 hours has been shocking. And again, our thoughts are with all the families as well, loved ones in that situation, because again, absolutely horrific news of what happened there as well. So again, just wanted to start the show out by saying that as well, because again, look, he was listening to on the news yesterday and listening to again other people, what they've been saying about it as well. Again, it was horrific and not nice to hear about. So again, our thoughts are with the families and of course the loved ones as well. Anyway, but again, let me know all of you are in the chat as well. Hopefully everyone's had a good day. Of course, the Reds back in action tomorrow as well. So the preview show for Arsenal will be tomorrow as well. So that should be a good game to watch as well, hopefully. Hopefully we do get to see a few more players. Hopefully you get to see like the likes of Diogo Jota that came back a bit later, didn't he? And of course, other players coming back as well anyway. But again, we are here to talk about the DM market and talk about, again, what type of players Liverpool should be looking at. Because again, I think it's a very interesting one where, again, Liverpool are not looking for, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, Liverpool are not looking for an out-and-out six, in my opinion. They're looking for a hybrid. They're very much looking for somebody who can, again, a good passer, can make, is good on the half turn, can, again, cut in between the lines, can also defend very well as well. That's, to me, the type of player that Liverpool want. Again, I've got four that I think Liverpool could potentially look at as well. But again, you guys will have other people's name as well in the comments. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Big up to CJ as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saying hello. But yeah, I've got a few names anyway. But this kind of ties in with it as well. James Pearce, of course, said earlier on as well, as you guys can see, but they're saying Liverpool are predominantly looking at players aged 24 or under with a decent level of experience whose slot can help to take to the next level through development as well, which kind of ties into, again, what we're trying to look at tonight as well. Now, again, there will be one person that's on the list that is over that age in particular, and that is Wataru Endo. No, I'm kidding, of course. We just had that from last show. But of course, with us rejecting that bid for Wataru Endo and the news being a few weeks old, I do think Liverpool are, if an offer came in, Liverpool would accept it if it was right. And of course, if they could get, their ideal target in, I think Liverpool would sell him. And also, I do think Liverpool have a good list of what they want to do in the transfer market. And again, one of them, obviously, Zubimendi would be one. Again, 25 years old, has a 60 million euro release clause in his contract. Again, the big problem with this, though, and the whole Zubimendi situation is, again, it's very hard to get these type of players out of the likes of Atletico Bilbao and Real Sociedad and so on as well. I think, Barcelona have been trying for years to try and get, I think, Zubimendi out of Sociedad to try and sign him up as well. But I do think Zubimendi would be a really good shout for Liverpool. Now, again, it's more recency bias because, again, we've watched him at a European tournament. We've seen him, again, a few times as well. When, again, if you're just a casual watcher of La Liga, you'll see a random game against Barcelona. And again, I think when you do look at Real Sociedad statistics, again, they're not flashy because, again, look, they're pretty much someone who, again, is in a mid-table team. In that sense, same with Kubo, again, somebody that we spoke about a couple of days ago, or might even be in a week now. Of course, when you look at his statistics, it's not the flashiest of statistics because, again, Real Sociedad are a mid-table team at the moment in La Liga. Again, underlining numbers, again, they are very, very decent, but especially with Zubimendi, when you do look at him, and when you do look at, again, at his statistics, they're decent. Could they go to another level again at a top team? Could they do that? I'm not so sure, because, again, La Liga obviously compared to the Premier League, but then also saying that, my Rodri, when you look at them, went from Atletico Madrid to Manchester City, took him a year, and then has been probably the best DM around for a very, very long time as well. But I'm just going to quickly check, again, 25 years old. Again, when you do look at him, though, and when you do look at his statistics in particular, again, looking at it now, so last season in La Liga, he played 31 games, starting 29 of them. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist in La Liga. Now, again, when you look at it, particularly, again, in terms of defending, again, he's in the top 27 percentile in winning possession back as well, which is really, really good. Again, interceptions, he's in the top 96 percentile. Blocks, he's in the top 67 percentile. Again, Liverpool are not looking for a Fabinho in this system, and that's the big thing for me. Again, we all say Liverpool does need a destroyer, and I think at times, especially last year as well, I would agree. Again, I think everyone, when we signed Endo, was like not so much around Endo, but more on the basis of Liverpool needed a destroyer because that's Klopp's style of football. Now, if the reports are true about Wataru Endo, he's not fitting into Arne Slot's team. He's not fitting into his profile because, again, Liverpool, under this new system, the players like Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, them two, especially in that that other double pivot, the left side of the midfield, they will thrive in this type of position. You look at, again, Curtis Jones might do as well. Trey Nori as well. Again, he looked unbelievable the other night, didn't he, chat? And again, if he has minutes against Arsenal, I'd like to see what he does against a team like Arsenal. But that other side, it does look to be a problem because Endo, even though I love Endo, I think Endo is a very, very solid option. And would I let go of Endo? No. I've said that for a very long time. I wouldn't sell Endo personally. Again, he could be James Milner, somebody who's on the bench, can come on and win games of football for Liverpool. Now, I did say just now, though, if Liverpool do get a bid, or if they get a bid that they think is right, they could easily go on to sell him. And I don't think anything is there to say that they wouldn't go on to sell him. But in also saying that, man, if we sign another player, our midfield is bloated. Again, with nobody currently leaving at the club, you've currently got Tyler Morton still at the club. You've got Endo. You've got, again, Bajcetic as well that can also play in that position. There's so many people that can play there at the moment. I think, again, until one of those people leaves, we won't see anything in terms of the market neither. Let me quickly check something out a minute, guys. There we go. But yeah, for me, I think it's definitely an area where Liverpool need to improve, but Liverpool might have to sell first before we can improve it as well. But Let me quickly go back up to the chat. Bad news PSA again. It's not bad news, to be fair, James, as well. To be fair, you share the same name. How you doing? Very good, thank you, Mark. Just very hot. It's very hot in this room. Vermin from PSV is another name we're linked with. Yeah, seen that yesterday. Again, I haven't reported on anything because, again, there's nothing really to report on that news. It's something and nothing. Again, with it, I would be surprised if he signed for Liverpool. But again, we could be shocked. Anyway, but we've been linked to a few. Yeah, that's true, Mark. But how many are actually true? Again, it goes to show, doesn't it? But we do need to strengthen areas for sure, and we'll need a few replacements. Yeah, 100%. And even with, again, for me, the four that make sense, and I'll go through all of them. But the four that makes total sense under this system and for Liverpool would be Zupimendi, Verela from Porto, Joao Gomez, and Adam Warton from Crystal Palace. They are the four for me that make the most sense in this market. Again, they're four players, in my personal opinion, that Liverpool won't overpay. If Liverpool went for them, we wouldn't overpay. Certainly with Adam Warton, when you look at him, for example, like, again, Bayern Munich have tried this summer to get him. Supposedly £60 million was getting spoken about when Palace asked about him, when Burnley, when Bayern asked about him a couple of weeks back before they signed Joel Palhinha. Now, if Liverpool think that Adam Warton is in that conversation of potentially, going up another level, of course, we got called up to the England Euro squad. For me, he ticks everything in the system that you'd want from that Arne Slot would want from this system and what Liverpool would want from him. Same with Joao Gomez. I think, again, Liverpool has been linked with Joao Gomez back since 2021. Again, Liverpool spoke, I think, to Joao Gomez at some point in 2021 as well. So it's obviously a long-term interest. Again, is it similar to, are we going to go for a similar target again, what Jurgen Klopp might have wanted? Potentially. Again, he's that type of player that's, again, physical, decent on the ball. Again, similar to what Slot wants from his six, because, again, we don't want a Fabinho. We don't want that style of defensive midfielder anymore. We want somebody who can play with the football, but also good defensively, has an engine on him, is able to, cover ground as well, because, again, we want to build up this time round, or, under Arne Slot, we want to build up from midfield. We don't want to, we might build up from, the right back and left back spot. So again, it might be the wing backs that create space and obviously create the chances. But from early indications, it's definitely the midfield is the tempo of the team under Slot. It's not, again, just chaotic then. It's very organized. It's very Pep Guardiola-esque in that sense as well. So for me, I do think having these type of players is what Liverpool are after as well anyway. But again, we'll have to wait and see on this anyway. But let me quickly double check if I've got that as well. So where's it gone? I don't have it, but yeah, so for me, let me quickly get the tactics board up from this as well. Let me quickly grab that. There we go. So for me, obviously the main two at the minute, if you guys can see that on screen, yeah, there you go. So the main two for me, obviously with Bajcetic and Endo, of course, this is the team that currently got it as for Liverpool. But as you can see, them two are the main DMs for Liverpool. Now, of course, Gravenberch could play there, McAllister could play there, but these two are the only ones that can play defensive midfielder. For me, this would be the team. Like, if you were to say to me who starts against, maybe Gakpo instead of, actually, we'll change that. It would be Gakpo for me instead of Diaz. for the opening game. But again, that for me is the team that would start against Ipswich. But that needs improving, like especially you've got a Stefan Bajcetic who, for me, is the future, but also you can't overly rely on, because again he's spent a year out, he's suffered with injuries in the past as well. But it's also as well, his future is that bright. He could be Liverpool's number 6 for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years under this new system, and he could be, but he needs backup. Again, how many times have we said over the years that having multiple sixes is the way forward, and having share the minutes out, like what we did last season, when again Liverpool pretty much shared out the minutes between Endo, Maka. Again, Bajcetic played maybe 2 games, I think it was in total, towards the start of the season and the back end of the season as the 6 as well. So it's it's an area where Liverpool do need to improve. It's probably the area Liverpool needs to improve. But for me, it's only these 4 that stand out, if that makes sense. And again, there might be somebody that I'm not thinking of personally, or you guys might not be thinking of personally, but those 4 for me are the ones that Liverpool should go on to sign. Again, Adam Warton is probably going to be the hardest deal to do, because again, in terms of the time as well that Liverpool could potentially go after him, and again, the sense that Liverpool haven't sold anyone yet as well, that's a big problem. Again, but though I say the hardest deal, actually I think Zubimendi is the hardest deal to do. I'll revert that back. Again, Zubimendi is the worst one to do, because it's impossible to get these types of players out of Real Sociedad, out of Atletico Club. Again, these types of players are loyal in that sense, but for Zubimendi, I think he would stay in the Bundesliga as well. I don't think he would Bundesliga, the La Liga, I should say. I don't think he would join the Premier League, because again, I know Manchester United fans go on about like, oh, we should sign him, this, that, and the other. Like for me, no, I don't think he'd leave Spain, personally. But if there's a 1% chance Liverpool could do a deal, I'd say go and do it, because you watched him in the Euros. Again, was very, very good as Rodri's replacement, but in hindsight as well, you can't really judge anyone from a European tournament, because how many times have teams done that in the past, where somebody's had an amazing Copa America, an amazing Euros or World Cup, and then they've gone to their club and they've been awful as well. That's the big problem as well. But Verela is definitely another guy as well. I've seen loads of people on social media bang on about him as well. Now, for me, I haven't seen much of him. Again, we do watch the odd game now and again of Portuguese football. You guys will know, again, was huge on it last year when we were watching, obviously, Sporting, because again, we were getting linked with Amorim for so long, and I mean so long. But is that how you spell his name? No, it's not. That's not how you spell his name. But still, it's something for me, like it's one of those hit and misses ones, because again, he has another release clause that's 60 million euros. Liverpool could have got him a year and a half ago for a lot less, but most Liverpool think going, I would say anyway. But honestly, can't see us. Honestly, can't see who we would go for. For me, I like that. That's the big problem, and also, I'd say go all in for him. Go all in for Adam Morton. Again, Liverpool should have been in the conversation. What was it? Was it back in January? He joined Crystal Palace. Sorry. I think Liverpool should have been in the conversation then to sign him. But it's also I do think Liverpool might even look at somebody like a Joe Gomez for because. Again, there's a long-term interest there. Liverpool, again, like I said, spoke to him in 2021 or spoke to his representatives in 2021, and he decided to go to Wolves because of game time. Like he even said that he would like to join Liverpool. I think in an interview for Brazil TV at some point. But again, it's more the case of like Liverpool have to get this right. So Liverpool can't. All of us would say, "Oh yeah, Liverpool need to sign this player, this player, this player." Like Liverpool need to get the six right. Michael Edwards, Julian Ward, Richard Hughes. They need to get the six right. And that's something where Liverpool might have to wait. Again, for all of us, that would be frustrating. But would you rather wait, until January or maybe even next summer? And then Liverpool sign the best DM then in world football for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Is that out of the question? I think for a lot of fans, yes. Personally, on social media, but would that be the worst take in the world that Liverpool just didn't sign a DM this summer? They just signed maybe a centre half and and a winger potentially for backup for Mo. I know that people are going about Anthony Gordon still as well. I know people are banging on about that a minute. I can't see him joining Liverpool again. We speak about outgoings until an outgoing happens. Maybe Barcelona will come back in for Lucho. But apart from that, I just don't think he's going to be, I don't think he's going to be joining Liverpool personally anyway. But for me, I think they have to, again, I'll reiterate it, they have to get it right. They have to, because the big problem Liverpool have as well is with Endo. And Endo, like I said, for me, he is the one that can win you games when he comes off the bench, can make sure you win. Say Liverpool 2-1 up, he can secure you that win. And that's something I think Liverpool should keep. But if Slot genuinely thinks he's not the guy for him, then what are we talking about in terms of price? Are we going to sell him for £20 million? Are we going to sell him for a bit more? Like, I don't think we'll get more. But again, that then comes into play. And if Slot says, "Oh, part of my plans," but then he doesn't leave, again, that leaves then a bad feeling then in the group. I don't think that would be the case, but I also don't think if Liverpool got an offer, they bite their hand off it. Again, and would sell Endo, but they have to make a decision. Do they go after somebody first and then look to sell Endo, or do they wait, sell Endo, and then look for somebody? But again, that would be playing a huge risk in the transfer market, because again, the people we've mentioned, they could all turn around and go, no, want to stay at my club, want to do this, want to do that. Like, say Liverpool went and spent or confirmed that they wanted to buy Adam Warton for 65 million pounds, but he says, no, I want to stay at Crystal Palace another year, similar to what Elise did 12 months ago to Chelsea. That then would put Liverpool in a very, very dangerous spot in terms of, again, you're missing out on a big talent, but also you've then let yourself become vulnerable, because again, they know Liverpool want him, and also if you sold Endo at that same point, you're then struggling to find a replacement for him. Because again, if we were to do that, that would be horrific. But I think it would be best to wait for the better. But you would have to get it confirmed. Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing. We've done that in the past, though, haven't we, Mark? Where we've waited. We've waited and we've waited and we've waited for somebody like a Jude Bellingham, and we know how that paid out. It was awful. Like we genuinely had to wait so long for a midfielder, or to even be linked with a midfielder. It then, comes out that, we don't need Jude Bellingham, this, that, and the other. If we bought Jude Bellingham, other positions would have been compromised because we wouldn't have been able to afford it, and this, that, and the other. And you look at it and you go, like, what are you on about? Like, when you do look at the amount that Jude Bellingham actually joined Madrid for, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities for Liverpool. Like, Jesus Christ, we were going to spend a world record fee on Moises Caicedo. And I know people will go, oh, well, that was a PR stunt. For me, I don't think it was. I think Liverpool messed up last year because everybody thought Caicedo was to go to Chelsea. And when that whole deal was like getting delayed and delayed and delayed, then Liverpool decided to go, oh yeah, now we'll put our name in the hat for him. And in some sense, Liverpool made Chelsea overpay 15-20 million for Moises Caicedo. And in sense that works, to be fair. But like in other factor as well, you look at Romeo Lavia. Now Lavia might have been the perfect guy for Liverpool now under on a slot. But Chelsea decided to go, no, we're going to go and get the two. We're going to go and get Lavia. We're going to go and get Caicedo. And, Liverpool can't afford to do that again. Liverpool have to, if there is a player that they believe is the guy to go and get him. And that's what I'm hoping for with the new regime at the top of the club. I'm hoping, Edwards and Hughes, they're ruthless. Like, they're not waiting around in a year or two. Like, they're fully committed in getting the people in. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I think that's what all of us should hope for as well. But I know, but you can't bring someone in for a year deal. True. Endo, like in that sense. Again, the whole Endo transfer would never have happened, I don't think, under Edwards. I do think Liverpool, if Edwards was here 12 months ago or Richard Hughes was here 12 months ago, I don't think we sell Fabinho, personally. I don't, unless there's a replacement in mind. Like, again, we bought Caicedo, or we pushed for Caicedo. Then I think Liverpool would have let them go. But now, no. Like, Liverpool only do it when they have somebody else in mind. Again, similar to, you look over the last couple of years, like, again, we've let go of midfielders and, they've come in. Look at, Hendo with, Szoboszlai and Maka. They, quickly came into the club as well. But that's something as well for the future where, again, hopefully Liverpool sort their business out rather quickly. Maybe in a year's time. But I still think we should have got Enzo Fernandez. No, not for me. Mark, no. Certainly because A, he's racist as hell, and B, he's just not good. Like, do you know what? There'll be a clip of me saying last year, and I know what I said. When we play Chelsea, there's a post-match of me saying Enzo Fernandez could be the second best midfielder in the Premier League alongside Kevin De Bruyne, or just behind Kevin De Bruyne, because the game he played against us last year, he looked unbelievable. But I don't know what happened from that game. The entire season, every time I watched Chelsea, he was awful. And I'm like, where's the player that we played against at Stamford Bridge? Like, again, that was, horrific, for the difference between the two. But then again, it just goes to show, like you look at Chelsea, and I've seen people, banging on about, oh, we should be doing business this, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea have signed like 64, 65 players since the start of last season, and they're nowhere near. Like, I'm not frightened of Chelsea. Like, this is the thing as well. Name me one team that's improved in terms of signings. I've only got one in my head, and that's Arsenal. Arsenal have improved. Calaflori is much better than a Zinchenko or the Polish fella that they've got playing at left back. He is. Like, that's the only signing for me in this window so far that has improved the team. Like, again, United signing Lenny Euro and Zerki, that's not improved them. That's not got them closer to Liverpool or Arsenal or City. Like, Chelsea, the amount of players they signed as well. Like, Victor Osimhen, for example, like that deal this morning again mentioned, or, again, the supposed deals that's happening. I'm not scared of Chelsea with Victor Osimhen. Like, for me, Victor Osimhen will be exactly what Romelu Lukaku was at Chelsea. Looks amazing the first couple of games because of the hype, and then will die off, because, again, Serie A is very misleading in certain aspects. And again, that might be with midfielders as well when we talk about, again, somebody like an Edison from Atalanta. But I'm not scared if Chelsea got Osimhen, personally. And again, this might get clicked out swallow with Chelsea fans. But I do think that there hasn't been apart from Arsenal getting Calaflori, there's not been any team that signed an improvement, or the signings have made them improve. Like Spurs as well, look at Archie Gray. Archie Gray's a really good signing, but has that transitioned Spurs to go from fifth? No. Villa, Villa's business has been quite good. You look at other bits and pieces as well. Like, has Villa signings made them improve? No, it's made them around the same. Like, again, if they get Joe Felix in mind, I think that'll be a big signing for them. But again, it's all ifs and buts. But Liverpool will do business this window, and people panicking, like, just calm down. As well. But yeah, Arsenal have done better. Yeah, they have. And I'll be the first to admit that. For me, Arsenal are favourites to win the league this year. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that. But at the present moment in time, Arsenal are favourites for me to win the league. They are. They are one striker off, or one top striker off from that team being complete, in my opinion. But Chelsea have a good knack of ruining players. Yeah, true, 100%. And Mark saying, but Rice hasn't been amazing. He's been okay. Like, again, he's been good. Like, he's not been like player of the season. I would say for Arsenal, he's been really, really good, but he's not been electric. Then let's say. But again, that's the other thing though as well. Rice changed positions last year, and people don't mention it. Like Declan Rice, he's not a 6. Like, people bang on about Liverpool and signing Declan Rice last year. Declan Rice was not a 6. Declan Rice is what Alexis McAllister does. In a team, it is. Look at him at the Euros. Was, the plan should have been for England to start Warton or start Kobe Mainoo alongside Rice, and let Rice be that 8 that's a box to box. That is when Declan Rice is at his best. Arsenal did it. They'll probably do it again this season coming round, and they'll be even better. And that's the difference. Like, and again, in this current system under Arne Slot, maybe Declan Rice might have been amazing for Liverpool in a 6, but that's something as well when we speak about Adam Morton, for example, or even a João Gomez. They're not a sit back defensive 6. They are defensive midfielders that are athletic. The agility. They're they're not just a destroyer. They're technically very, very good players, and that's what Liverpool need this summer. They need a technical 6 that's gonna be good on the ball, has an engine, is athletic, and go on to do that and to be that for Liverpool. Because again, you need somebody who can play as a 6 by himself and potentially in a double pivot as well. Again, there's not many of them on the market, but again, Liverpool don't need a destroyer because we've kind of got them already with Endo. Again, he's not a complete destroyer, but he's legs, isn't he? He's an engine. Liverpool need that, but also need somebody who's very technical, and Endo is not that in that sense either. But for me, out of them all, I'd love Adam Warton from Palace personally. I don't know about you guys as well. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on the repeat as well. Anyway, but yeah, let me know everyone's thoughts down below as well. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Big thank you to everyone for tuning in as well. Much appreciated. As always, tomorrow, Arsenal preview. That will be posted up on the channel in a moment. So again, if you guys, again, tomorrow, we're going to be speaking about Liverpool, Arsenal, speak about a few players to watch out for as well. Any bits and pieces, any news as well that does come out again, we'll bring it to you, of course, anyway. And yeah, hopefully we get a good game tomorrow night as well. Of course, I believe it's 12:30 in the morning again. And of course, one thing we didn't mention as well, let me quickly bring them up before I do shoot off. Is that it there, or did I not save it? So speaking of games, so if anyone's going to the Sevilla game as well at Anfield, I will be there as well. So if anyone's coming, make sure to come and say hi. But Also, Liverpool are looking at another game as well. So James Pierce said Liverpool in discussions about playing a friendly with Las Palmas at Anfield on August 10th, the day before the Sevilla game. Not confirmed yet, but it happens. But if it happens against Las Palmas, would be behind closed doors. So it's undetermined yet whether or not it will be at Anfield or whether or not it'll be at the AXA training ground as well. I probably think it'd be the AXA training ground. If it is behind closed doors. Anyway, so that's a bit of news for you guys anyway. But let me quickly read the comments before I do shoot off. Amrabat has been a huge letdown for United. Yeah. Again, he's gone back to Fiorentina now, hasn't he? Completely messed up his career. Should have gone to Barcelona, shouldn't he? And that was a big mistake from him as well anyway. But yeah, like I said, Arsenal preview tomorrow, Manchester United preview on the weekend as well for the last games of the US tour. But yeah, tomorrow, 9 o'clock will be the Arsenal preview. And hopefully I'll see all you guys there tomorrow anyway. But if you are new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button and all that good stuff as well. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.